Hey guys, Superhorrorbro Mike here, and in today's video we conclude our mini-series looking at the monsters of Dark Deception Chapter 4. Previously we visited the Reaper nurses and their torment therapy hospital and narrowly escaped the clutches of rabid animatronic trio, the Joy Gang. Now it's time to explore the lore, abilities, and secrets associated with Mama Bear and her trigger teddies. So sit back, relax, and let's enter Barely Buried as our Dark Deception coverage nears its conclusion.
Mama Bear is coming to get you!
Deep within these eerie woods, a lone cabin stands. Inside, a Mama Bear and her babies slumber. Mama Bear has a deceptively warm and welcoming personality, and seems to care very deeply for her trigger teddies.
Gather him up, my babies, and bring him inside.
She also has a deep connection to Malik and seems very affectionate toward him. Despite this, Malik doesn't seem too keen to reciprocate.
Not that it matters, dear Malik. My babies always leave very little behind regardless.
I've told you not to call me that. You know I hate it.
But I like it.
Mama Bear is one of the most symbolic monsters in the world of Dark Deception, and this is clarified in the stage's e-note, where the mysterious author comments as follows. The Mama Bear is born from the twisted love of abusive mothers. They sabotaged and destroyed the lives of their children. She is a massive collection of that soul type. For some reason her presence pains me deeply, and I feel an immediate attraction to her when I get close. So Mama Bear is made up from the souls of abusive mothers, yet still has the power to draw vulnerable human souls toward her, as if projecting a false motherly love onto them. We see this visualized by a hazy corruption that overtakes the screen whenever she grows near. In terms of protagonist Doug Hauser and his story, Mama Bear is key. From a secret note found in the stage, we learn how Doug's own mother despised him, as a result of her husband abandoning her after childbirth. All she saw in her little boy was the despicable man who treated her so cruelly. And so Doug's mother began taking the hatred for the father out on her son. Doug suffered years of abuse at the hands of his wicked mother, and as a result grew up with a deep and scarring hatred towards women. This tied into his disrespectful conduct toward both his wife and daughter. Acts of cruelty that eventually resulted in their deaths. Now Doug finds himself reliving an even more horrific version of his morbid childhood, as a killer Mama Bear and her demon spawn chase him around these caverns. When on the hunt, Mama Bear patters forwards, arms outstretched, as if she is looking to give a warm and cozy bear hug. Gets caught however, and we learn this is not the case at all. Mama Bear slicing us to ribbons with her claws, or even stuffing us inside her teddy-filled belly. Meanwhile, her triggered teddies act as mini kamikazes, rushing the player and then blowing up like bombs upon impact. Despite her appearance, it is quite likely that Mama Bear isn't actually a bear at all. When entering her bedroom, we note a number of costumes hanging along the wall. These costumes do not have claws attached, meaning these claws are the only part of Mama Bear we know aren't fake, leaving us to ponder what kind of demon lies behind the fabric of her costume. We may never know. Barely Buried is split across 3 distinct zones, and these are made very different to the usual stages due to a particular game-changing mechanic. At the beginning of this level, Doug is robbed of all of his powers by the demon Malik. This changes up the gameplay, as to begin with we must use stealth to navigate Zone 1. This zone is set inside an eerie cabin, and sees us sneaking past sleeping baby bears until we acquire our first ring piece, this returning the vanish ability to Doug, allowing him to sneak out of the cabin and into Zone 2, which takes place deep below the cabin inside a maze-like cave system. Here we must not only avoid Mama and her babies, but also deadly bear traps. In Zone 2, we are able to seek out our telekinesis, speed boost, and primal fear stun abilities. Moving to Zone 3 sees us reaching the very depths of the cave system, where we find ourselves in some kind of hellscape. The sky red and made up from thousands of screaming souls, forever doomed to suffer in Malak's nightmare realm. In this zone, 3 teddies run around with the remaining ring pieces. However, only one of these 3 is legit, with the other 2 being fakes. Claiming this ring piece returns our telepathy ability. But what about the other powers? Well, they are claimed after beating 2 boss encounters found within this stage, so let's take a look at Mama Bear's super form and tips for how to beat her. Mama Bear is the only boss fight in Dark Deception to take place in 2 parts between zones. She appears in this gigantic version, with arms as long as buses and the ability to submerge beneath the toxic waters of the cave. In this mutated form, one of her arms even has a mouth at the end of it. Boss Fight 1 takes place after Zone 2. We enter a clearing full of toxic holes, from which Mama Bear's clawed hands spring out to flatten us like a pancake. Every now and again, a baby bear will emerge, and we must quickly eradicate it using our primal fear ability. After successfully dodging a number of attacks, a rock is hurled from one of the pools. Pick this up and carry it over to Mama Bear, who takes a moment to catch her breath, then slam the rock down on her head to damage her.
Come give Mama a bear hug.
This must be repeated 3 times, after which Mama Bear retreats and we can proceed to Zone 3. The best tip for this boss encounter is to stand in the centre of a room and wait until Mama Bear attacks. This allows for the player to freely run in any direction without getting cornered or boxed in by the environment. It's still a challenge, but this tip will certainly make this infuriating boss a little easier to tackle. Mama Bear's second boss battle occurs after exiting Zone 3. It seems this green toxic waste is what mutates her into such an atrocity.
I can't let you go any further. You've wrecked my happy home and destroyed many of my precious babies. You will undo everything. Like Bierce, you are an abomination. I can never let you return to her. This place will be your grave.
To begin with, Mama Bear strikes twice with her clawed hand and bites once with her mouthed hand, so just keep running to avoid these attacks. Next, Mama Bear will leap out of a pool and begin beating her chest as she gives chase. A handful of explosive teddies will emerge to attack. Use your vanish ability to hide from them and then boost away. Then blow up the teddies with primal fear at the opportune moment, damaging Mama Bear and throwing her back into the pool. Mama Bear then begins using a spinning attack which must be boosted away from. Try lining yourself up perfectly central to this attack, as it can sometimes stop and begin turning the opposite way. Trust me, you never want to be too close to those deadly blades. The final attack Mama Bear has up her sleeve is to curl up into a spiky ball and roll toward the player, in an attempt to flatten and impale them. This attack is brutally fast, so be sure to speed boost out of the way as she draws near. Rinse and repeat, and eventually the ring piece will be yours, as Mama Bear falls in defeat. Well, for now.
Dear Malik, forgive me.
To wrap up this video, it's time to seek out the secrets barely buried within this stage. You'll need these if you hope to S-rank the stage, so let's get collecting. Secret 1 is found near the beginning of the stage within the cabin. After following the glowing orb up the central staircase, rather than heading through the Trigger Teddy bedroom to the left, take a right and pass over the balcony here. You'll see a boarded up doorway, and behind these boards is a secret room with a secret file. Secret 2 is located shortly after entering the caves. Upon dropping down into this giant clearing, you'll find it at the far side under a rocky alcove. It's pretty hard to miss. Secrets 3 and 4 are found in Zone 3, the place that literally looks like hell. Take a look at the minimap here to get a good idea of this secret's basic location, as this stage is huge. You'll know if you're in the right place, as a large discoloured rock can be seen in the wall. Interacting with this rock moves it out the way, and behind it is a secret cave with another of Bierce's hidden files. Using this giant twirling landmark to get your bearings, we can easily find Secret 4 along with some key story information. Opposite this sealed cave entrance is a lightly coloured rock. Interact with this rock to reveal a secret room. This room is particularly noteworthy as it contains a ton of lore describing exactly what happened to Doug as a child at the hands of his abusive mother. It also explains why Doug then hid his mother away from his wife and daughter, this eventually leading his wife to do some detective work of her own. But perhaps most interestingly of all is the present Doug's mother gave to her son for his birthday one year, a big fluffy teddy bear. The final secret can be discovered just after defeating Mama Bear for the second time. You'll recover the teleport ability and must use it to cross this chasm. But instead of heading straight forward, look to the left, and you'll note a second platform within reachable distance. Teleport to this and follow the tunnel until you come across the fifth and final Bierce file for this stage. With all the secrets and lore now squared away, it's time to run from Mama and her teddies and make a mad dash for the escape portal. We've now taken a look at all monsters found within Dark Deception Chapter 4, and so there's only one element left to look at, the overarching story. This will be a big video where we take a detailed look at everything and bring it together. It will include theories and analysis for all major components of Chapter 4, so hang tight as it may take a while to put together. In the meantime, thanks for taking the time to watch this video. I hope you found it both entertaining and informative. And if you did, remember to leave a like, comment down below, and of course subscribe for more horror related content. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next video.